wife. I just ironed this because I thought it's the perfect t-shirt to wear for this video. I'm not even sure if I ironed it right, but anyway, I thought I'd give you a little update about the wifey life. Not that much changed, but I have been a bit quiet on here and I wanted to be more active on YouTube. But I also had my parents staying with us for the last 5 weeks, which was amazing. They are living on the other side of the world, so I've really been soaking up the time with them. And I received so many messages about my wedding day, which was amazing. Like, honestly, best day of my life. It was raining, and you know, like every bride's fear or worry is probably rain on your wedding day. But I just gotta be honest here, I didn't care. Like, on the day itself, like the ceremony, we had sunshine like right now, and then I think an hour after the ceremony it started raining, and I just didn't care. I just had the best day. I was surrounded by my loved ones and I didn't care that it was raining or that we were outside. But anyway, yeah, so let's just dive into it. I might grab a little drink, a kombucha, and I'll be right back. I am drinking a Remedy. Did I press start? Yes. I'm drinking a Remedy orange squeeze, and it's so refreshing. Before I start talking about my wedding day, I just want to point out firstly how long is my hair now. I've been growing it since my cut when it was that short, 2023, for the wedding, and now I'm really like, yep, I need a haircut because it is getting so thin. So I'm thinking of cutting it again this length, maybe. We'll see. Let's get into the wedding recap. Like I said, it was the best day ever. I think one thing why I felt so good about the day, even the day before, like we had a few hiccups the day leading up to the wedding that we didn't plan. I mean, you never really plan anything that's going wrong, but it all worked out, and it was just a little bit of stress the wedding week, but it all worked out. I really wanted my wedding day to be stress-free, and as I'm a type A bride, I made sure that I had everything written down for the days, like 2 days before the wedding, 1 day before the wedding, what needs to get done. I put it in my calendar, and I created my wedding day binder, which you can download the link below. And honestly, this was my wedding day saver. Like, I felt so organized because I had everything in here and everyone could have a look. I had digital PDFs sent to my friends who helped me on the day, to family. I had little to-do lists for, I'm gonna show one, for the people that helped me on the day. This is all decoration set up here, but yeah, so for example, duties. And then for Shannon, who helped me a lot on the day, I made like a little list what to do on the day before the wedding for me, which was so helpful. And then on the wedding day itself, here you can also see I put another name in here that was helping her. Then for Jules's parents, I made like a little to-do list here. It's not much, literally, it's just that they organized Jules, so I don't have to organize him, my husband to be. So I asked Sonia if she can keep an eye on him. And then just the day before, I helped to load carts with decoration. I know I maybe didn't need to write this all down, but honestly, it is so good to write it all down, have it all in here and out of your head, because otherwise it's like, you know, there's so much in our brain as a bride that otherwise it would be just too full. And I know my mother-in-law was also really excited about the wedding, so she literally asked me like 3 times what was her to do again. So I'm so glad that I just sent her this so she could have a look at it. So I'm just so glad that I just made this and sent it so everyone knew what they were doing. I made some for my parents, like little to do, like just little things. I had a to-do list for my bridal party, so this was just so helpful. I got asked on Instagram like my number 1 tip or any tips, and my number 1 tip is to accept help. If you're like me, you probably think you can all do it by yourself, which I thought. I thought like, oh no, that's all right, I can do that. And honestly giving even little tiny tasks away is so helpful. Like what was one thing, I'm trying to think. So Jules asked me if I could find a dry cleaner for him. If you're bride to be, you probably know that the groom unfortunately doesn't do that much, and I know that I'm not the only one. I know he does other things, so don't want to say anything, but I was like, I have so many to-dos, I don't want to find a dry cleaner for you. Like, this is like, it's just another to-do on this endless list, right? So Jules's mum was like, hey, I can do the dry cleaner, and I was like, this is such a relief. I don't know, honestly, maybe it would have taken me 15 minutes to find a dry cleaner or something, but it is just giving tasks away is so good. And she also organized, like she picked the suits up, she dropped them off, she picked them up again. Like, that was such a huge help. Like, if someone offers to help, accept it, honestly, and don't be shy to reach out to friends again. Like, friends reached out to me in the past and said, if you need any help with wedding stuff, let me know. And then, I don't know, it was like the week before the wedding, and then I reached out and I was like, could you actually do this or that? I gave one of my friends the task to hand out the confetti on the wedding day, which was also like such a little job but huge help for the wedding day. So yeah, this, honestly, my wedding binder, I can't say it enough, but it has everything in here for the wedding day. So you know how you get wedding planners for your whole wedding planning period, which I had as well, which was really helpful, but I really wanted something that had everything for the day in here. So I highly recommend, and that's another tip, is to make a detailed wedding day timeline. Really write down, okay, when are we getting up, when is the first makeup, when is the first hair stuff. So I had my wedding day, I'm not sure if you can see this, if this is like the light, otherwise I'm going to put a screenshot in here, but I had a detailed wedding day timeline. I wrote down when we're getting up, I wrote down when we're prepping breakfast, when we order our coffees, because we did coffee order pickup. So I wrote down around 8, we're gonna order the coffee for like 9:30. I wrote down, because I really wanted to do some before and after videos, so I wrote down 20 minutes for content, just because I knew that I would have otherwise been distracted. You're so in the moment, so you forget those things, and I really wanted those memories, like a before and after. Then I literally, like, I had the name, who's doing it, I had what we're doing, and then we checked it off. Like, we were like, just also to have like a little bit of a timekeeper. The girls I had for hair and makeup were so perfect with their timing, so they had their timeline, but I added the timeline into my timeline, so we just could see, oh, we're on time. Or for example, I even wrote down when the girls are gonna get in their dresses, so they know, okay, now we're gonna get changed, because we also took some photos in the outfits we were wearing, like pajamas and stuff, so they knew afterwards, okay, now it's the time to get changed. So literally this timeline was on the table on the day, and we just ticked it off, and we could just all see, okay, what's the goal. Then I also added, I think on the day, just some little notes and what else I needed to pack, just so I don't forget. But I also wrote down the content in the end. So we did a before video, and then we also had to do the after video, which you easily forget when you get so excited about walking down the aisle soon. So I made sure I write it down in the timeline. I also had written down my look with my dad and when we're gonna get picked up. So just to make sure everything is in there. So less thinking for me on the wedding day, and my friends could just look at the timeline, which was just, honestly, I'm so glad I made this. And as I said, you can download it in the link below. What else is in here to show you? Yeah, my decoration checklist, because I put this down as well, like I borrowed heaps of decoration, which is in here as well, because I'm so organized. I wrote down what I borrowed, what I bought, what I still had, what I rented, like all the decoration, and then I made a list with instructions for those who set up the wedding decoration. So I put photos in here, and I even sent this as a PDF to the people that were setting up the day. I took photos of what I already set up at home, and for example I did like a little table with photos of those who couldn't be there, who passed away. I put like another table with love stories before us, so it's all in here. All the stuff for the wedding day is in here, and honestly this was making it so stress free. Okay, that's that, and now some more tips. So people ask me, how did I choose the venue? So we got married at Church Road, which is so beautiful, but before we chose our venue, Jules and I sat down and we decided on the vibes we're going for, and we pretty soon kind of decided we like the rustical but modern look. So all these colors here that are also in my wedding binder, but yeah, that was pretty clear. Pretty soon we decided on that, like a rustical kind of look. So we then also looked at our budget and we chose 3 things that were important to us. One thing was definitely food. For me it was the photographer, and the third one was the location. That's actually something we realized after we looked at a few venues. It was important for us that the location had a wet weather option. So if it was raining, we had an option there, not something we had to organize last minute. So once we looked at a few venues and got packages for those venues, that's another thing. Each wedding package is different, like every venue has other offers, so you kind of have to calculate, okay, if we pay this much but we also get like 2 nights at the accommodation there, is this what we want to do? Or if we go with this package which is the same price but doesn't have accommodation, I don't know. It was just, you really have to look into the packages and what's important to you. So for us, it was actually not important to stay somewhere. First, I had this thought, oh, I'm going to stay somewhere the night before with the girls, and then the night after I'm going to stay there with Jules. But after some time, and my mom recommended, why don't you stay at home, because then you have everything there, which I'm so glad I did. So we saved on accommodation the night before and the night after, because we just stayed at our place. And Jules and I decided to go away after our wedding, like 2 days later, for 2 nights. So we kind of used the money for that, for our mini honeymoon. So what I want to say here about choosing the venue, for us it was important that the venue had a wet weather option. So we looked at Church Road, and it was actually the last location we looked at, and we walked in and we were like, that's it. And it's literally 5 minutes from where we live, and I think that's also the reason why we looked at it last, because for some reason we thought we'd go somewhere a bit further out, which is stupid, because then it was the issue that we might have to organize a bus, and then I was like, who wants to ride a bus on a 30-day, imagine it's 30 degrees, who wants to ride a bus somewhere? So I was like, nah, let's go with the close location, which was perfect. It really fitted to our vibes. So my number 1 tip is sit down with your partner, fiance, and think about, okay, what's our budget, what's the vibes we're after, what is important to us, what should our location have. So that's my tip about finding your location. I got asked about my favorite moment, and honestly there are so many favorite moments, because the day I found it so perfect and I wish I could do it all over again. Let's focus on the 3 with my husband. So the first one is obviously walking down the aisle and seeing him for the first time. We decided not to do a first look. I don't know, for us I think it was clear straight from the start that we want to have the first look when walking down the aisle. The second one is probably us taking a moment after the ceremony. So when we walked out of the ceremony, we walked into this little room and we just had our little cheers, our, what is it called? Bubbles, and just had like 2 minutes. Like, I think it was even, yeah, it was just 2 minutes to ourselves, and we're like, we literally just got married. Because when you stand, this is so weird, but when you stand in front, like this, like at the ceremony, like in front of everyone, you can't really talk to each other, obviously. Like, we were holding hands, and sometimes Jules would like whisper something and I would say something back, but you can't really, obviously you don't talk to each other because someone is reading or like doing the ceremony, like the celebrant is talking. you say your vows. So after we walked off, we were like, we just did this, and then we just kind of did like a little recap of what we just did. So that's one of my favorite moments, which I highly recommend, because otherwise you walk out of the ceremony and people come and congratulate you, which is also beautiful, but for us it was important that we take some time for ourselves first. Then the third moment that I really liked is we decided to do a private reception reveal. So reception is where everyone was seated for dinner, like our dinner area. So that was inside. So our ceremony was outside. Luckily we had beautiful weather, and then it started raining afterwards, but that was fine because there was also shelter for all the guests, and it was kind of cool to mingle with the guests because otherwise we would have had our photos done then, so I had time to mingle with guests. Anyway, we did a private reception reveal, which meant that George and I would walk in first to see the whole setup. Maybe I put a little video up here, which was just so beautiful seeing it all coming together, because afterwards you come out again and the guests go in, and then you have the bridal, or at our wedding it was, you have the bridal party entrance. So that means the MC introduces the bridal party, the bridal party comes in, and then the couple comes in. And I'm so glad we did the private reception reveal, because we could see everything before people are sitting down. We could see the whole setup, all the candles lit, because when you walk in and all the guests are there, you don't really focus on that much. Like, you see all the people you love in one room, and obviously you focus on that rather the little details. So I'm so glad we did that beforehand, to just see like everything I worked on for the last year coming together. So that was really beautiful. So that's a favorite moment of mine. And then just some other favorite moments from the day were definitely getting ready with the girls, having such a chill morning. We got up at like 7:30, and I think first hair and makeup started, like the two first bridesmaids started at 9:15. So we had like a bit over an hour to just chill together, to do some content that I wanted to do, and to just start it slowly. And then I still had time until 11:15. So one of the girls picked up the coffee. I had another friend coming over. I had a friend from Germany here as well, just helping with things. We would sit outside, have a coffee, while the other two were only doing their hair and makeup. But it was just really chill, like chill music, really stress-free. And I also want to thank you, while I say this, for the amazing people that were here on my wedding day helping. Then my parents came over as well, and Joy, my mom, got ready here. My dad got ready here. He was actually kind of stuck in his room, like in the guest room where they were staying the night before the wedding, and after the wedding they stayed somewhere else, but they were staying with us for 5 weeks. So he was kind of stuck in the room after a specific time after I got hair and makeup done, because I didn't want him to see me yet, because we did the first look. So maybe we should have done this a little bit different, but he knew from the start. I already told him, like, you can even come later. Let's say you'd come over at like 1:30, so you don't have to hide in that room. But anyway, it was fine. It was funny, like something to look back at and laugh about, because he was kind of stuck in that room. But anyway, yeah. And then definitely a favorite moment was walking down the aisle with my dad. Maybe I put a little video here. So yeah, I feel like this video is gonna be already quite long. I got a few questions about my dress, and if the dress that I had was kind of what I envisioned. And I want to give you a tip here, and that is to try dresses that are not on your vision board. Like, I'm gonna put in a few dresses here that I had on my Pinterest board and on my Instagram. I'm not even sure if I have my Instagram saved folder anymore, but anyway, putting the inspo in here. And the first time when I went and tried on dresses, one of the lovely ladies put up a dress that I didn't pick myself. It was a strapless dress, and then you could put on sleeves, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure, but I tried it on and I really ended up liking it, and it was one of my favorites. The only thing that I didn't like was the strapless, because I knew I would always go like this. So I was then looking for a version that was with straps, but it had the sleeves, and the sleeves you could take off. So I came across this one version that I found online that I wanted to try on, and then when I went to the bridal studio in Palmy. I tried it on and I was like, that's it, because it was basically 2 dresses in one. So it was like I can put a photo here, one like my vision board kind of, with details on the top. I actually haven't had anything like this on my vision board. Details on the top and simple on the bottom. I either had everything details on my vision board or everything smooth. So that was a mix of both. And it had like the deep, like a V cut here, a low back, and then the sleeves that I could take off, which I did once the dance floor started. So I had the sleeves on the whole from ceremony till after dinner. I first thought I would take them off for dinner because I'm so clumsy, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be so hard when eating. But I actually didn't take them off until the dance floor started. So recommendation, try on different styles just to get a feeling, just to see if you like it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have found this beautiful dress that I wore. So yes, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, a bit about the wedding day, a little recap, a few tips. Just want to say again, my wedding day binder for the day literally made it so stress-free, and I'm so glad that I created this and I put so much work in, so you can use it as well. Just simply click the link below and fill in, personalize your binder. I even put in like a ceremony setup, and I added photos of where my decoration goes and stuff, so literally it made it so stress-free. I didn't have to worry about anything on the day. So yeah, if you have any more wedding questions, drop them below, and stay tuned for some honeymoon content. I am now planning our honeymoon. I mean, I kind of started planning it before the wedding, but I'm now coming into the final stages and have to organize. So yeah, if you're a bride-to-be, I hope you have the best wedding day ever. Just let go on the day, let go of everything, and just enjoy your day. I can't say this often enough. Just enjoy the moment, and I wish I could do it all over again. I actually had to remind myself, like on the wedding day, like I talked to my girls, I was like, this is my wedding day, like this is it. Like, because you're so in it, I feel like that sometimes I'm like, whoa, this is literally, this is it, this is the wedding day. Anyway, hope you have an amazing day, and subscribe if you want to follow me along, and leave a like to support. Thank you so much.